I'll just explain a few things. There we are. What I forgot to say last week was to talk about the hips a little bit, and I forgot to do that, so my apologies, and I'll do that now while we're waiting for Mel. She's still got another couple of minutes as well. So the hips, really complicated part of the body in terms of muscles, ligaments, and bone structure as well. So, as you probably know, we've got the ball and socket, so your femur kind of comes in there, and in this socket you've got synovial fluid and loads of other things going on, but I'm not going to go into detail, if you like, really. Okay, so when we say hip work, we're on about, and what I try and do is work. Let's start here. Because you've got a muscle called the psoas and then the iliacus kind of coming up here. They're part of your hip flexors. So the psoas is the only one that kind of comes up right by, originates in the mid-spine and then goes down and inserts in the legs. And then you've got a few other hip flexor muscles as well, all right? So then you've got your quads. So if you can imagine a quad being four, you've got 4 different muscles that make up your quads. Now, the hip flexors and the quads kind of do what it's just saying there, flexes, okay? So it flexes the hip joint. That's what the muscles are there for that. And when they get tight, usually it goes up and then your pelvis takes a bit of a posterior rotation. Anyway, it kind of goes back out and ends up extending the spine. Then you've got the sides here, so you've still got your quads going there, some of your hamstrings, but what's called your IT band going up here, then you've got your TFL muscle around there. And you've got your glutes, minimus and medius as well. And what they're used for is kind of abducting, so taking your leg out, lateral flexion. Then you've got your adductors as well, which takes it to the adductors adduction, all right? And you've got your hamstrings and your glutes, which is kind of the extensor, hip extensors. Kind of some of them also do internal rotation, external rotation. So when basically, I hope you got all that. All you've got to think about is flexion, extension, lateral flexion, internal rotation, external rotation. They're the planes of movements that I try and work through as we do the hip movement. I guess that's where I'm coming from anyway. So as you know, last week we were doing lotus, moving up to lotus. That's kind of taking your into external rotation. All right, so that's what we're kind of working on. We're working on the mobility and the flexibility of the hip. So you can have a lot of flexibility, but if we don't strengthen as well, then you may not have that flexibility for long, because you'll have too much, and then you won't be able to support your pelvis either. So we work on both. Anyway, today, I hope you got all that. Today we are doing archer pose, is the main pose, right? I will also take you through some mobility exercises for your hips. So archer pose, I'm not going to do it completely. Up, and then like a bow, you're going to pull this backwards. And then hopefully you can also touch your foot as well. If you can't, there's chairs at the back. What you could do is just come to here and try and sort of touch there, go out, coming in. So there's loads of things we could do instead, all right? But more to the point, I hope last week you took something away and actually had an little bit more play in your hips, all right? And sometimes when we work the hips, we find that our lower back doesn't hurt as much because we've loosened where the hips are. Maybe you've got a little bit more range of movement, etc. Okay, so I'm going to stop gobbling off. Where are we? Okay, so if we come into, you can either come into your hero pose again, sit on the block, you've got your blocks now, alright? Or you could go into lotus if you want. Now I know some people are quite flexible in their hips. Now there's not just lotus, there is called the Swastika Asana as well, where, and every time if you're going to do this, place your legs out, bring them in. Swastika is actually placing your foot in between your your hamstring and your calf, and then you do the same with this one. Or there's the perfect pose where you can just place one leg over the other. So it's not quite Swastika where it's stuck in there, and it's not quite lotus when it's right up here. So you can comfortably maybe do that. All right. So there's a couple there. So Kirsty, with what you're doing there, that's more perfect pose, okay? Or Sukhanasana. Okay? Or you can just put one in front of the other, which is hinging pose. Now, if your knees are up like that, I would suggest placing a bit of height. And there's some yogic, like great yogic instructors, teachers. You quite happily sit on a couple of blocks and we'll sit like this because it's comfortable. They're raising themselves up. So please don't be worried about if you're the only one sitting on blocks. There's no judgment. Everyone is kind of at the right stage. Right, on that note, so please come into your preferred asana. And what I'd like you to do is make sure you feel your sit bones on the ground. And then on the next inhale, I'd like you to inhale. Bring the shoulders up, and as you exhale, bring the shoulder blades together and then down, so back and then down. And then I would like you to connect with your breath. And like last time, start deepening the breath. In through your nose. And if you're going to come out your nose as well, lock the throat by placing your tongue up to the roof of the mouth. You kind of like doing if you do a half out from your mouth, then place your tongue up. It stops you from doing that, and it just makes you go through your nose instead. Is it me? It's like hot yoga in it, isn't it? So I'd really like you to begin to think about your yoga practice today, what you want from it. And I want you to release any judgments of yourself, any expectations. And if there's any worries of today, or any annoyances, release them. So if you'd like to just open up your eyes, you're going to inhale, take the arms upwards, looking up, bring that energy into your palm, down via the third eye to heart center. Inhale, rise, and exhale down. Again, inhale, rise up, exhale down. Leave your head down for a little bit, and just place your hands onto your thighs. And we're going to, on the next inhale, come up, and then left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, rise, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale up, once again left ear, and up, and down. Inhale, and exhale, shoulders, squeeze, and then shoulder blades back and down. Inhale up. Inhale, take the arms shoulder height. I'm going to laterally flex to the right. Inhale up, flex to the left. Inhale up and down on the side. I am feeling quite a bit of heat in here tonight, so if you do get to a point where you need to take on water, please just do so and then continue or meet us at a certain point. Alright, last one on the other side. Alright, down, inhale, rise up, and we're just going to twist to the right. Inhale up, twist to the left. Inhale up, twist to the right. Inhale up, twist to the left. Alright, perfect. Okay, you might want to release your blocks. Take your feet more than hip width apart. You may slide off your mat. You might want to turn left or right, it's up to you. What we're going to do is just start to do the windshield wipers first, just to warm up, and then I'm going to show you another little cheeky mobility exercise for the hips. Alright, okay, so coming up, what we're going to do is place our feet, our legs, in a bit of a figure of four. Okay, so you've got and flex your feet as well, so everything's at a 90-degree angle. Alright? Got it? Yeah, perfect. Okay, what you're going to do is lift this one up, but you're not lifting this one up until you really can't go any further. I.e., that's not going anywhere. And what you do is lift that one up and then change direction, keeping that 90-degree angle. Okay? Got it? And then we're going to, continue. So bring that up and then come forward. You got it? Yeah, make sure you support yourself if you can. And then continue doing a couple here, but make sure you're just not swinging by. Bringing that one up first, and then moving. And then just do one more on the other side. I know you're going to be touching the wall in a minute. Alright, next time we're going to do the same, but what I would like you to do is take this foot off, and then this foot off, and then change. So you're going to kind of go like that, then like that, and then switch over. Bring the leg up at the front, and that. And you can probably feel that as you lift that is tensing, so you're creating contraction of muscle there, which is strengthening. And
so get my head to do it.
the more you kind of do this, the more strength you get in your hips. Alright, so we're going to give them a bit of a shake off. So come onto your all fours once you've done that. onto your fours. And we're going to go into our cat and cow. So inhale, come down to cow pose. Exhale, up to cat pose. Inhale, down to cow. Exhale, up to cow. Inhale, down to cow. Exhale, up to cow. All right, and a couple more hip exercises. So come to a neutral spine. Inhale, knee up to the elbow, out to the side, and then round. So we're just rotating this leg and the hip, getting that synovial fluid come up in that hip joint. All right, and then come down to the other one. And go about 3 or 4 times around. Keep your body firm where it is. Perfect. Bring that down. Okay, we're just going to come back. Place your hands behind if you want, and just lift your knees up. And go side to side. You might feel a bit of popping, a bit of this. There's a lot of things happening on that front foot, alright? If you want, add a little bit of strength. Just bring your arms up. And then place them down. Can you bring your knees up a little bit further? Might feel a little bit strange, but it's a nice stretch. Alright, come forward, tuck your toes in, under, and then just warm up the wrists. Or go into downward dog now. Alright, let's do gently. Alright, we're not too much on our wrists today, so please go into a downward dog. And what I'd like you to do is press down on your heels, so feeling that stretch in the back of the legs. Take your socks off where you need to. Make sure your shoulders are back and down. Alright. And you just want to warm up the legs, that's it. Bending into the knees, pressing the feet down. However you feel you need to kind of warm up. Alright, just a little bit of breath. Alright, make sure you spread the fingers down. What I'd like you to do now is just walk forward, but pressing your heels down as you walk forward nice and slowly. Alright, you can bend your knees if you need to, but just going to get a little bit more in the hamstrings. Okay, and calves. Have a little micro bend in your knees if you need to. So we're in a half forward fold. Bring your hips high. I know it sounds a bit weird, but you're kind of bringing the hips high, and you should be able to feel that in the hamstrings. And inhale, as we exhale, bring the chest to the thighs. And what I would like you to do is just bend each knee at a time, but just twisting around so you get a little bit more of a stretch in hamstrings. Okay, and just bend the knees, coming up vertebrae by vertebrae. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, going straight into our sun salutation, more or less. So, make sure you feel all your, or ground yourself, feel all 4 corners of the feet on the mat. Take your feet hip width apart if you need to. Tuck the tailbone in, bring your shoulder blades back and down. Okay, on the next inhale, take the exhale down, forward folding, hinging at the hips. Make sure the core is engaged. Inhale, rise to half fold. Exhale, plant the palms down, step back into plank. I'm so sorry if I get my words mixed up today, I'm just not quite with it. Alright, and take your knees down. And what we're going to do is take the elbows back, bring the chest down. Inhale, rise up to Sphinx pose. Take those hands forward. Make sure the elbows are in the side body. And then exhale down. We're going to move the hands down under by your ribs. And then we're going to come up via the knees if you can, or
using your core strength to go into your down dog. Alright, lovely. Okay, and start to look forward, slowly pressing those heels down towards your hands. Bend the knees if you need to. Coming into a half fold. Exhale, fall forward fold. Drop the head down. Hinging at the hips. So if you feel like you're just rounding up the spine, what I'd like you to do is just bend the knees and bring the chest towards your thighs. So your chest is lying on the thighs. And then coming up vertebrae by vertebrae.
All the way up, extend the hands. Exhale, hands to heart center. Tadasana. Taking a breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold.
Inhale up to a half fold. Exhale, palms down, step back into the
Inhale, lengthen. Come forward onto your toes, knees down, chest down. Inhale, rise to small half cobra. Engage the core. And then down. Press up into the down dog.
hips nice and high.
Alright, lovely.
Once again, we have to go through this, always knee up and down the dog, that's fine. Inhale, take right leg up to the sky, hold it, and then bring your knee through, step in between your hands, your foot. Take your left knee down.
This is where you might want your blocks, you may not. Inhale, rise. Tuck the tailbone in and then press forward. Now you can remain up here or you can bring your hands down by your side. It's up to you. And then inhale and then come forward. Inhale and come forward. And then hands down, come back to downward dog.
Okay, inhale, let's take that left leg up to the sky. Bring your knee through, step in between your hands. However you wish to do that, let's take that right knee down. Excellent.
Inhale, rise. Nice and strong. And then forward with the hips. Really feeling that in the hip flexors. And just continue using your breath. And then forward. Inhale. And as you go forward again, relax into it. When I say relax, keep your core engaged and your tailbone tucked in. Okay. Take your hands down, come back to downward dog.
Jump forward, step forward, into a half fold. Exhale, fall forward. Okay, and come up vertebrae by vertebrae.
All the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Tadasana. One more. Okay, take a breath. Inhale, right. Exhale, down.
Inhale, rise to a half fold. Exhale, plank, palms down, step back, jump back into plank.
Come forward on your toes, and we're going to come down into chaturanga. Elbows go backwards. Inhale, rise to cobra or up. Exhale, back.
Left leg up to the sky. Bring your knee through, stack in between your hands, going up to warrior one. So let's take that leg
Out to the side and press in. Now you might feel this in your adductors. Okay, so that's inside. That's fine, that's opening up your hips. If it's too much in your knee, you might just want to bring your foot in slightly. And inhale, as we exhale, plank, palms down, come back to plank. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come forward on your toes, and your elbows should be going back, and your hands should be by your ribs. As you come down into the earth, come back into downward dog.
On the next inhale, That's all right, meet some. Bring your right leg through. That's three-legged dog, that's it. And coming into your warrior one when you're ready. Nice and powerful. Okay, and inhale as we exhale. Plant the palms down and we're going to step forward to lead the right leg into a half fold. Exhale, full forward fold. And then we're going to have 5 breaths in a minute and nice relaxation to come up vertebrae by vertebrae all the way up. Extend the hands out, bring the energy down into your heart center. Alright, very warm. So, they're saying it's cold out there. We need some warmth. Woo. All right, everyone okay so far? And our hips, our hamstrings, everything should be getting nice and loose at the moment. Okay, so, all right. Taking a couple more breaths, coming to Uttanasana. Forgive me, I might get my lefts and rights mixed up. But we'll be all right. We'll be all right. I did this morning, I'm not with it today. Okay, inhale, to both arms up. Plant your left foot down and your right should be coming up. What you're going to do is take your right foot back, take your left hand to meet the right foot. I hate this one. For some reason I've got a dodgy hamstring that's not very strong on this side. So I find it quite hard. Okay, so what we're going to do is kind of pull that right foot across so it's meeting the left bum cheek, if you will. We're going to focus on something. Okay, I'm going to release the right foot. We're going to pull it through. Take the right foot again on the ankle. I'm going to place it on top of the left knee. Bring your hands to heart center, and we're just going to sit back slightly. And then we're going to inhale, rise up. Exhale, back down. Feeling the heat, certainly in the hips and the legs. Inhale, rise. We've got one more. Back down. Then we're going to go into a high lunge after this. So inhale, rise. Take your foot back into a high lunge. Rest in the high lunge. Okay. Go into our warrior one. Okay. Nice and strong. And you can probably feel it in the back as well. So we are going to be working the back as well today. Okay, inhale, as we exhale, come into the warrior two. So turn to the front. Heels should be nice and line. Looking down at your front palm. Into a, here we are. So we're going into standing archer. So pull that right arm forward, and we're going to pull our arm back like we're going into pulling a bow back. We're also going to straighten up the front leg and place a bend in the rear leg. And then we're going to come forward, back into warrior two, and then side angle. So however you wish to do that, you might just want to place your elbow onto that front bent leg and then bring your arm over. Also, you've got your blocks.
Okay. Right then. Come forward. Wrong elbow. So it's your left elbow on your left knee. That's the one. I was thinking what's going on. That's all right. I know. All right. Inhale, rise up. Going to go into triangle, straighten out that front leg, hips forward, lean forward as much as you can. That other arm back, and then we're going to pivot down. That's it. Okay, if your bum's poking out a little bit, bring that left hand up your leg a little bit more. Looking up at your hands, that's going up to the ceiling. Breathe, relax, and put a bend in that front leg, coming back into our warrior two. I promise it will be over in a minute. Okay, take your hands behind, press down, open up the chest, hinge at the hips, come forward, and the chest goes on the inner left thigh. Now, if this is a bit too comfortable for you, please just come down maybe, place your hands on the block. You don't have to kind of go at the back, let's say. Alright. And we're going to drop the hands down, bring our feet both forward so we're in a no lunge. Inhale, as we exhale, take the right knee down. Bring your blocks to the side so they're in line with your hips. Tuck the rear toe, and we're going to tuck the tailbone under, push forward with our hips, and then what I would like you to do is take your head back so you're in some sort of extended spine movement. Make sure the core is engaged. You're bringing the core in, okay? And the butt is also engaged. You want to protect that lower spine. All right. And move the head upwards. And we're going to bring the bum back slightly, but make sure your hips are over your knee. And then we're going to straighten out that front leg into our half splits pose. So you can continue using your blocks if you wish to bring some height. But I'd like you to just tuck in the chin into the chest. Make sure you're not going back with your bum. So you might want to inch your knee, heel forward slightly. And you're kind of feeling that in the back of the knee, back of the hamstring, back of the calf. And at the end of this 4 weeks, by the way, we're going into full splits. You think I'm joking? I'm not. No, listen, I say full splits. It's entirely up to you what you do. Right, take your blocks away if you've got them. Bring your left foot up, and we're going to go into our plank. So, bring your leg back, hold the plank, engage the core or the butt. Right, we're going to lean forward, hinge forward on our toes, and leave the hands where they are. Elbows go backwards. Please place your knees down if you need to, okay? And inhale up to cobra. And all we're doing here is just allowing the psoas muscle to stretch. And then back to downward dog. Lovely. Alright. And we're going to move, start to move forward towards our hands, into a half fold. Exhale, full forward fold. And we're going to come up vertebrae by vertebrae all the way. Reach your hands up. Exhale, hands to heart center. I'm going to take a couple of breaths here because I'd rather us just keep moving. But just enough for a couple of sips of water if we need to. Alright, we're going to go on to the other side. So, perfect. Tuck the tailbone in, shoulders back down to that side. Firm the thighs, firm the back, and the abs. Inhale, take the arms up. We're going to plant our right foot down, take our left foot behind us, take the right hand to connect with the left foot, bringing that in towards the right bum cheek. Pick a point on the wall, on the floor, to relax. And what this is doing, once again, hip flexors and quads. No judgment, remember, if you fall out of it, go back in where you can. Alright. And inhale up. Bring the left foot forward. Take it onto your right knee. If you can, press your knee down. Bring your hands to heart center, but as I said, you know you can use this to press the knee down. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to come downwards. Ooh. And inhale, rise. Exhale, down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, down. Be careful where the foot is on your knee. Make sure it's not directly on your knee. It's either above or below. And inhale, rise. I think that's 3, I do believe. And then let's go back into our high lunge. And then we're going to move. I've got the wrong legs, so don't worry about it. If you're thinking it's you, high lunge. Then we're going to move into warrior 1. So all you're going to do is take that foot out 45 degrees, and then left foot moves 90 degrees, and then you can bring yourself to your left of the mat. So you're facing to the left side of the mat. Arms front and back. Okay. Where are we first? Standing warrior. Standing archer. Bring that left hand forward, and then we're going to pull the arrow backwards, straightening up the front leg, bending into that rear leg. And then we're going to come through, back into warrior 2. Extended side angle. So now we're going to come down either onto the knee or straight down onto the floor. And then bring that arm overhead into our extended side angle. And what we're doing, we're really opening up these hips, okay? Stretching the adductors, the hamstrings, the glutes. So remember, we're bending into that front leg. So the right leg needs to be bent. Because in a minute, we're going to go into our triangle pose. So inhale up to warrior 2. Straighten up the front leg, move forward, hips forward into our triangle. Looking up at the left arm, that's in line. Make sure you're opening up that heart as well, bring your shoulder blades back, so shoulders should be in line. Nice. Looking good, ladies. Looking very good. Remember to bring that right hand up, the leg, and then a little bit more if you feel like your butt is facing out. Alright, and bend into the right leg, coming up, into warrior 2. Take the hands behind, press down, and then we're going to hinge at the hips, coming into our humble warrior. A lot of leg strength here.
Give yourself a few breaths here. Alright. And release the hands down. Bring both your feet to face the front. Take that left knee down. Make sure your blocks are ready, sort of by the side of your hips. And tuck the tailbone in. Bring your hips forward into your low lunge. And then when you're ready and comfortable, you feel like you've not dumping anything on the lower back. Just bring your shoulder blades backwards, showing your heart. Bring that head backwards. we're going to come back into our half splits. So remember, stack your hips over your knees, just bring your right right heel forwards if you need to. All right. Okay. And swing your leg back round or come into your plank, how you would like to. And we're going to lean forward, chaturanga, push your knees down if you need to, into our cobra. Exhale back to down. Alright, we're going to move through our vinyasa. So coming up onto your toes, into plank once again. Drop to chaturanga, inhale, rise to cobra. Exhale back to down. And jump forward, step forward, into a half fold. Exhale, full forward fold. Coming up vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Alright. Come into our Tadasana. Take a deep breath. Everyone alright, yeah? Good work. Hopefully the hips are feeling nice and open. Okay. We're going to transition onto the ground, so coming into our Tadasana. Ground yourself. Okay, inhale up. Exhale down, forward fold. Inhale, rise to a half fold. Exhale, plant palms down, go straight into downward dog. You're not going to move through the knees. Alright. Inhale, take the right leg up to the sky. Getting nice and steady. And then we're going to bend the right knee. So we're opening up the hips into our scorpion. So your shoulders are still forward, but your hips are kind of coming backwards. Alright? That's right. Place your knee down if you need to. And coming up onto your toe, we're going to move into plank. So round up the spine, but keep the leg where it is in our plank. Then drop that left knee down. Sorry, left knee down. Right stays where it is. Mine was just playing up there. Alright. And we're going to rise up, come down, rise up, come down, rise up, come down, rise up, come down, rise up, and move this leg through into a low lunge. We're going to take that left knee off, and we're going to walk the left side of our mats, like so, into a wide leg forward fold. Except we're going to bring our legs in, our feet in, but then take them out slightly. Drop your hips and come into our goddess pose. If you can, take your knees out to the side as much as you can and drop the hips, tuck the tailbone under. Remember the core needs engaging as well, right? Nice. If you could sit back a little bit more. Fantastic. Looking really good, ladies. Okay. So, we're going to inhale, rise up. Walk the feet out a little bit more. Bring the feet forward, so both feet are facing forward. Okay. What we're going to do now, you might want a block to sit on, just to place the block, kind of leave your left heel. We're going to bend into that left foot. We're going to drop the hips down and then bring the right foot upwards. So you can use your hands. I've just sat on a block there. You can actually use your hands. And what you want to do is try and get the armpit just in front of that left knee. This is called your Skandasana, and you should really feel that in the adductors, the hamstrings. Alright, what I'm going to ask you to do now is if you've got the strength, push up without using your hands,
your hands, please do so, alright? It's really tough. And then we're going to turn to the front of your mat, come down with your hands, and we're going to take yourself back into a plank. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, draw the body down into chaturanga. Inhale, rise to cobra. Exhale, back to downward dog. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So, inhale, take your left leg up to the side. Three-legged dog. Bend the left knee into our scorpion. Come up onto your right toes, into a plank, also staying in scorpion. Take that right knee down to the earth. Left knee's up still. We're going to drop it slightly, and I'm going to take it up. Drop it slightly. Take it up. Drop it slightly. Take it up. Drop slightly. Take it up. And next time you come through, go into a little lunge. Bring the right foot up, right knee up. And we're going to walk to the right edge of your mat. Draw the feet in, slightly. Take the feet outwards. Drop the hips. Take the knees nice and wide. And come into your right pose. Remember to have the tailbone in. Good. A bit cheeky tonight, alright? I'll give it. Alright. Inhale, rise. Bring your feet in, or walk your feet out slightly, but bring your toes facing both the front of the mat. Moving into our Skandasana. So, take a bend in that right knee. If this is what's available to you right now, that's what's available. If you can, come down. Make sure, clearly, the left leg, you might want to be on your tippy toes as well, but do your best to kind of force that right knee out, okay? So whatever you are doing, you are getting that stretch, whatever is available to you now. And what we're going to do is come up, use a little strength, if you can, come into your low lunge. You may want to block to hands. Take your left foot outwards. Bring your hands on the inside, and you're going to bend that right knee and step through into squat. Once you're in this position, come down, bring in your hips forward. Take your armpits and your knees and kind of take them back slightly. Now, block on bum. Alright, that's what the blocks are there for. Not everyone has this like flexibility in their hips, so please, please, please use blocks. Okay? Double them up, it really doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing, you're opening up those hips, okay? So, if you do want to go one further, take your right foot out, bring your right knee down and up, left, down and up. And just do this a couple of times each side. And this should be strengthening up the hips as well. So you want to do about 5 on each. This is all practice, believe me, all practice, right? 2 years ago, there's no way I could have done that. It's all practice. Okay, place your hands down and bring yourself up into a forward fold. Drag your feet in. Nice forward fold, just allow yourself to just release. Release. And just squat down. Allow yourself to just roll back onto your mat or just take a seat, it's up to you. Alright, we're going to just take a little breath because We're going to do some seated stuff now and slow it down a bit, okay? Okay, so the first one, we are going to go into Sage Marichi 1. So we're going to extend both legs out first, extend both legs out. And before we do anything, we're going to do a little bit of strengthening in the quads. Place your hands down. You can either go 1, 2, 3, or you could go with both. 1, 2. So if you're doing alternate, do 10. If not, go to 5 of these. Cheeky. Bring the right foot up. Inhale, lift both arms up. You're going to go right hand on the inside, so you can bend forward on the inside. You're going to take the right arm up, left arm comes round, opening up the heart, joining your hands together. I'm going to try and get these sitting bones down as well. Now, if we're not able to get these hands together, just do anything that you can, right? We're going to open up the heart. This is why we've got straps. So, I'm going to give the straps out. I think people might kind of need it.
Sorry.
And we're just going to release there. Take both legs up out. We're going to go to the other side. So, left foot upwards. Inhale both arms. Left goes on at the front. Trying to get your armpit as much in as possible. And then this one, so you're coming right up first. So you're reaching back first. And then grab and hold. That's it. And you might find you're breathing a bit. Alright, slow that down. Get to a point where you really feel comfortable. And it's like there's so many different ways you can do this. Alright, and release there. Okay, next one. We are going into cow face. Okay, so those who remember a bit of Kenny Everett going on here. Okay, so take your feet out, bring the left in, and it's going to go under your right. Then the right is going to go over the left. Okay. Now, if you want, you can hug this in, or you can inhale, rise up, take your left arm down the back and your right arm to meet the left. Okay, and that is giving you a little bit of, you kind of have to have a bit of stability, so it's strengthening the back and the glutes at the same time. God, it really is warm in here tonight, isn't it? Alright. And once again, if you need your straps, please go for it. Okay, and what we're going to do now to make it easier is just go. Yeah, you see what I've done there, okay? And all it's doing is switching. Inhale up, right arm down, left arm. Remember to take it out wide, bring it up, and then when you're kind of together. It's harder than you think this pose, isn't it? You should be feeling that in your hips. If your hips get a bit crumpy, alright, just release. You don't have to hold for so long. Okay. And we're going to release there. Undo. Extend your legs out. Okay. Extend your legs out, just give them a shape. Okay, so this is where we're going into our archer pose. So, legs are out. Left leg comes in. Now, you can hold the toe, or to be fair, I prefer either going on the inside or on the outside of the foot. Okay, sitting up nice and straight, straighten up the left leg. And what you're going to do is pull that, take the right hand out, and then pull that leg back as though you're about to shoot a bow, okay? So, you might want to bring it on the outside so you are actually forcing that back. Now, if you're not too happy with this one, you can go into Happy Baby, alright? It's kind of very, very simple. If you're content, equally, if you raise yourself up slightly, you may be able to bring that back a little bit better. You don't feel like you're, ugh, and then maybe you can reach forward and touch the toes. I was, like, if you, sometimes there's another pose, I can't remember which one it is, and you're like literally getting your, the kind of thighs right on the back of your shoulder, okay? Regardless, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you're opening up the hips. So if that's what's available to you, then that's what's available to you. Alright. Okay. As I said, you've got your blocks. Right. Extend your legs out. Take hold of the right, bring it up. And we're going to do it in a bit of a better motion here. So pull it back. You might be a bit better on one side than the other as well. To be fair, kind of how you grab hold of it is, like, for me, that seems a bit better because I'm able to kind of pull it back. But it does require a little bit of back strength as well. Okay? And let's release forward. Cheeky. Alright. Down. I've got to do plain pose. It's fine. It's fine. Right, where are we? Let's do a little bit of twisting, shall we? A little bit of twisting. So, come into a supine position. Bring your knees up slightly. Take your hands out to the side. And we're just going to drop. Make sure your lower back's on the floor. Engage the core. And we're just going to drop the knees down to the back side. And what I'd like to do is slowly breath down. Slowly breath down and just release. Try and get your left shoulder on the mat.
area. Knees up, just give yourself a bit of a hug, knee into the chest. And then what we're going to do, instead of going into your corpse pose, I would like you to bring your soles of your feet together, lay them on the floor, make sure you're sitting but your lower back is into the mat, and just allow your legs to fall, and your knees to fall out to the sides. Now if this is okay for you, you could do your relaxation in this pose. If you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable, please go into Shavasana as normal, or put a block under your neck, or something to prop you up. Just allow your whole body to relax into the mat. Just pay some attention to your body. Just understand if it's holding on tightness or allowing these to fully relax. And if it is a little bit too much, you can bring your feet out towards the end of your outside, sitting on a lunge. Just allow yourself to release your forehead, all your small muscles around your nose and around your jaw. And afford yourself this relaxation. Just allow that relaxation to fall down your neck, your shoulders, releasing your spine to the earth, feeling strong. Lower back. I'd like you to just think about something that brings you love, joy and happiness.
mind into your heart. And just as you bring your legs together, your knees together, rising up with your knees, bring them together, and then straightening up your legs and your arms up above the head, giving yourself a nice little stretch. And whatever's in your heart, that thing that makes you feel loved, joy, happiness, make you go to the tips of your fingers and down to the tips of your toes. And when you're ready, come in and roll onto your right side, bringing it all in together. And giving yourself a nice hug. And think, I just want to go to sleep now. And when you're ready, come into a seated position, nice and slowly. And when you come up, just go into your pose that you were in at the start, but go opposite leg if that's the way it is. Opposite leg. Alright, bring your hands to heart center. Thank yourself for coming to your mat today. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. You did awesome today, and I hope you are feeling it in your hips now and can see the difference. Namaste, have a beautiful week. I'm going to look, well, I never look back on these videos, but I should do at that last little bit there.